Today I'm going to show you a new product from TEMCo. This is the XS Series static phase converter. Now this is a product that we've designed to be an economical solution for starting three-phase motor loads when you only have single-phase power available. Now there are a couple things you need to know when sizing a static phase converter versus a traditional rotary. First of all, these are designed to work primarily with Y-wound motors. Now this is information you're going to find on the nameplate of your motor. And with a Y-wound motor, a static phase converter is going to give you about 2/3 of the rated horsepower. Now, these will work with delta wound motors, however, you're only going to get about half the horsepower out of them. The second thing you need to know about sizing a static is that you need to make sure that the horsepower range that your static is rated for matches where your motor is at. Now, this is a product that we've designed to be very, very easy to install and use. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the install process here to show you exactly how quick and easy it is to get up and running with the XS Series static phase converter. Most three-phase motors are going to have 3 separate leads coming out, line 1, line 2, line 3. And you can find this information usually marked either on the wires themselves or on the nameplate. And inside of the static phase converter here, we have a terminal block with separate single and three-phase inlet and outlet. So all you need to do is take each line, line 1, put it in the T1 slot and tighten it down. And then you just repeat that for line 2 and line 3. And that's it. Once you've got the motor leads installed here, now it's time to bring in your single-phase power. Now, when you bring your power supply over to your machine, there's a couple of things you need to worry about. First off, you need to make sure that the circuit you're hooking into is the proper voltage and has enough amperage to power your equipment. You also want to make sure, though, that the circuit breaker or the fuses that are protecting your single-phase circuit aren't oversized for the application. Now, in the manual for these, which is available, you will find the sizing chart that goes over what size wire you need to be using and what size fuses and circuit breakers you should be protecting upstream with. Now, the way that these operate, there isn't any controls on the unit. So as soon as power is applied to this unit, it's going to start up the motor. For some people this will work out. You can use a dedicated breaker or like a fused disconnect to go ahead and turn on your equipment. But what TEMCo recommends is one of these guys here. This is a magnetic starter, and if you click down in the description below, there's going to be a link to our product category for these. And what this does is it gives you start-stop controls. The other nice thing about these is that there's a built-in thermal overload, and so this also acts as a supplementary protection for your equipment and your converter. If it tries to draw too much amperage, it'll quite simply stop it, and you've got a reset button right there. You don't have to worry about blowing breakers or potentially shutting off other equipment in your shop. Once you've got your single-phase leads run over, you simply bring line 1 and line 2 into the terminal blocks, and again, there's no tying in with the other leads. They've got their own dedicated place where they go here. Simply put it in the terminal block there, screw it down. Now that you've got your power and your motor leads connected, the last thing you need to do is make sure that you've got a good ground connection both to the phase converter and to your equipment. Now, there's a ground stud up here in the corner, and TEMCo even provides ring terminals to fit this ground stud, so there's no additional parts that you have to go purchase. You just crimp your ground wires right onto this and hook it all up. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to be using a clip-on ground, but you do want to make sure to solidly bind ground to that terminal. Now, the last thing that we need to double check is on some of these converters, there is actually a high and low horsepower range. Now they come factory configured for high horsepower. So for example, this one here is an XS8. It is rated 4 to 8 horsepower. So if you had a 4 or a 5 horsepower motor, you'd want to reconfigure these two jumpers right here for the low horsepower setting. And that's found on the sticker here as well as in the manual on how to reconfigure that. So now that we have all of our wires hooked up here, everything's grounded, when we apply power to the unit here, fires up. When you start your equipment, if you find that the shaft is turning in the wrong direction, you simply have to go in to your converter here, and on the three-phase leads where it comes in from the motor, reverse T1 and T3. Just take those two wires and switch them, and then your motor's going to go ahead and spin the other direction. If you have any questions or you need help sizing a static phase converter, go ahead and give us a call. It's area code 510-403-4061, or visit our website. It's www.temcoindustrialpower.com. And there you can find sizing guides and selection charts as well as accessories for your phase converters. Also, if you guys have any questions about the videos or suggestions for videos that you'd like to see on products that TEMCo offers, go ahead and give a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.